Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Suited and Booted. I am your host, Jarogba, and to my left we have...
Lord Mahazi.
And to my right...
Number 10.
And, Gavin is here in spirit somewhere.
If I see his abs one more time on Instagram,
I think I'm going to turn gay.
He's going to have a suspension for a week.
You're trying to monetize on YouTube and just opening 30 seconds.
What, there's nothing. That's not a demonetized word.
Is it not?
How? Why?
Should we put Snoop Dogg in his chair just out of respect?
Yeah,
that looks like him, kind of.
Can you put Snoop Dogg in Gavin's chair, please?
Okay. It kind of looks like him.
There's no camera on that chair.
That's all right.
Show the camera.
It's all right.
We'll just put Gavin there.
The dog's got to eat.
Oh, Gavin's been eaten.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah.
Looks exactly like he's over there.
Hey, Gavin.
That's the CFO for you.
Hey, Gavin. No, shut the fuck up and let me talk for a sec, Gavin. Yeah, so Gavin's in Thailand again. Probably will move there at some point. He loves it that much over there. Him and he's been doing Muay Thai classes. Imagine Gavin doing Muay Thai.
Oh, man, I could imagine it. I actually could imagine it.
Isn't he recovering from an ACL?
Yes.
That's what I was.
Got to be some limited sort of aspects there, right?
And he's talking everyone through the way that you should recover for an ACL.
Wait, he's gone.
And he's gone to do Muay Thai.
Yeah, and does fucking roundhouses. With
Day 33 of ACL recovery.
Muay Thai. With 3 sessions a day.
With Surat Sukha.
Surat, man.
Also, we have the Baghdaddy behind the mic. What up, Nor?
What's up? Thank you for having me again.
Yep, no problems,
You've been here every show.
You've been here every fucking show.
Yeah, we didn't explain that last time to the listeners. We didn't have Jake, and there was an available mic, and we thought Nor has been here every single... Well, I missed maybe 2 eps.
Do you know what's funny?
But has provided a lot of quality without a mic. So we thought, give him a mic.
We'll give him a strap on. So, you know what's funny? Sunil from Melbourne City said, why isn't Nor on the pod more often? His voice is like butter.
Really?
What?
Yeah, and I said...
You got that? What,
yeah.
Didn't you say something about him last week where it was like... When Nor's here, it feels like Jesus is in the room or something like that.
He keeps like some integrity
like
in the
some
room.
holiness is
Yeah, it's crazy because you don't know Nor.
That's the greatest compliment you can give me, by the way.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
No cap. Well, I don't know if you were
like
here or not when he said that, but he definitely said that.
I think it just could easily go sideways if there wasn't someone just steering the ship.
All right, just say my name.
Just by their aura.
Yeah.
Just say my name. Oh, it was, bro, does Nor smoke a deck of Marlboros before the show? What a voice there.
I've only had 1 cigarette when I was 17. That's
and you've held on to it the whole time. Hey, I'm Nor. I'm behind the camera.
He's got Puck behind the camera.
Yeah.
Puck.
Yeah, so Gavin's in Thailand, so we'll do it, I guess. So, there's a very important thing that I wanted to address. We thought we met someone at the NPL finals. Turns out it wasn't him. We thought we met the Nut Man. We didn't. Okay, we just met a random Greek sailor who happened to maybe look similar to the Nut Man.
I'm still convinced I've seen that guy sell some nuts somewhere.
Maybe he was like maybe he did like pistachios or something.
It's the nut?
Yeah, maybe he did another nut. So, Gee. That was Gee. Come on, Gee. We're trying to do a pod here. So, for everyone in Victorian football, we all know the Nut Man. Okay? He's an icon of Victorian football. I don't know if he did any interstate trips to sell some nuts in Sydney or Adelaide or whatever, but he's a Victorian legend. And a listener of ours actually reached out and said, boys, the Nut Man is my grandfather. And I said, wow, wow, wow. So I gave Gavin the job of finding out some information about the Nut Man.
How quick did Gav get that information, by the way?
Whilst he was in Thailand.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. Whilst doing Muay Thai. The Nut Man's name is Michael Christodoulou. He supported Bentley Greens. He used to sell his peanuts at Bentley, Malvern, South Springvale, Dandy Thunder, and outside Olympic Park when Victory played. I've also seen him outside Amy Park as well. I know I have.
Probably.
He's definitely been there on Gosh's paddock. How's this, though? Oakley never allowed him to sell his nuts inside and tried to charge him to do so. So my grandpa was smart. He used to park his car near the gate and pop open his boot and sell them from there as people were entering the ground. Before the game started, he would load a big bag of peanuts, go to the other side of the ground, throw them over the fence, and jump over. Go back to the entrance, pay for his ticket to enter, and then retrieve his bag of peanuts, and business is now open. What a legend.
Yeah, that's a business pivot, man.
Can you tell us more about his business pivot? So
Wait,
how did he pivot?
Is he still with us?
He unfortunately has passed away, so rest in peace
Yeah.
to the Nutman.
I feel like we should dedicate this ep to
We dedicate this episode to Michael Christodoulou, the Nutman.
Yeah.
heart and soul, bro. They were warm nuts, man, sometimes. Like, you get that little
Ooh.
bag and it's like warm in your hand.
Yep.
And that's weird that you say he didn't. So he was walking around with a trolley selling nuts at Oakley Cannons, because we have a memory of a nut man at Oakley Cannons every week.
Yeah, but
So it wasn't him.
but he entered sort of through the back door.
Yeah. So who wasn't letting him in the front door is the question as well.
Listen to me, Oakley Cannons
I'd
FC.
love to know this.
Listen to me,
Well,
Oakley.
we are going to be catching up with someone in that space, so we can definitely ask the question.
I hope it's not him, but I do want to speak to the person that was involved, because why?
Unless the sailor.
I reckon it was a miscommunication. I reckon it was him. He sold, which if we get that wrong, that's really bad by us. But I'm convinced the sailor guy was the nut man at Oakley.
Well, maybe the
just
sailor guy was the original Nutman's op.
So I'm wondering.
There was ops in the nut game?
There has to be.
No, because I think there was multiple, and I wonder if maybe there was already someone in there selling, so that's why they didn't want him to come in as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're speculating here. We'd love to ask Gavin's connection, the true story behind the Oakley situation.
You know what? I'm going to take him at his word. I could picture the Nutman throwing over a sack of nuts.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I don't remember a guy launching nuts over fences.
You wouldn't have seen it. He's very discreet. He moves like a ninja. To lug a bag of nuts over the Oakley Cannons fence, walk around the front, buy a ticket, act like nothing happened, and then go retrieve your bag of nuts. Oakley. He went like that to Oakley.
Yeah. Isn't it funny, like something so small as nuts, the sale of nuts, can embody the Australian
Game.
State League
Yep.
persona.
But even Victory, bro, like, he was there earlier days, even at Amy Park. I remember seeing him there,
Yeah, I do too.
and he's just a legend. But I wonder why nuts went so hard, you know?
I wonder how much he made. I wonder what his margins
I
were.
just stacked a milli.
Well, there is one last sentence.
Didn't get.
There's one last
Give
sentence.
him something funny, yeah.
He's been in the cash business for 15 years.
Respect, bro.
Respect.
Respect, man.
Do you know what I mean?
There's
Like,
a nice pad out
mad,
in
bro.
Rosebud or something somewhere.
something.
I wonder what
He deserves
Oh
it.
man, I've got so many questions. Like, was that his full-time job? Full-time income, let's say.
Maybe he ran like a nut mega store, and then that was just...
What was the profit and loss? Like, you
Yeah.
know, what was the balance sheet looking like? There was no balance sheet is what we now know.
I've never heard of this before because I didn't grow up here. Were the nuts that good?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Like
They were
cashews,
nut-tastic.
pistachios, warm.
Okay.
Like warm.
Okay.
How does that happen?
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a warm, like a mini microwave to warm them up with, but they just were warm.
That's when they're made with love.
Yeah.
Well, you
Maybe he
can't
had
really-
it. Yeah, I don't know.
Can you make nuts? I don't even know how nuts are made.
Like you need a soft drink straight after you eat them because there was just,
wow.
just
Okay.
salt
galore.
Yeah, salt galore, but heaven.
Sodium.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on him, man. Rest in peace to the Nutman, and everyone will know who we're talking about. If you've got any stories with the Nutman, please DM us,
Oh, yes.
and we will continue this saga.
Can we talk about the potential segment that we're going to do about?
Yeah, why not? Go for
Yeah?
it, Rush.
Because these are the stories that I think are so fascinating to do with Australian football. Is these little stories?
Yeah.
Not to minimise it, but these really personal stories about the Nutman or Gavin's dad throwing a bin at Chris Taylor, things like this, that we want to do a segment of Australian football stories, NPL stories, where we give you guys the opportunity to write in or anonymously do a voice clip in, and we choose the best story of the month, let's say, or the week.
Yep.
And we present it on the show.
But we need them to be freaky.
They're the best. That's the best thing about football.
Something left
These
field.
crazy stories.
Something left field that only NPL can provide.
I don't want to hear
State
about how
leagues.
you scored a last-minute winner, because guess what? I don't care, because I do it every week.
Yeah.
But if you have some crazy stuff like, you know, we'll do the whole, we'll put a balaclava on you, we'll change your voice, like we'll make it real serious.
Yes.
And you'll be like, yes, I was banging the treasurer's wife.
We're not going.
We're not going there, I'm joking.
Or I rolled the peanuts over a fence. Went wrong.
I was the peanut guy at Oakley that blocked him out.
I was the guy who said no to the nut man.
Yeah.
So he had to bag up his nuts and throw them over the fence.
That's the stories we want. So if you guys are keen on it, comment below, keen. And if you have a story, get it ready. Get it ready.
Yeah, and you know
the
what?
segment is coming.
Have punctuation. Because that's
This is a couple
key.
people might write in that we know that might not punctuate.
Shush. Have punctuation. And guys, you know what? Like we said, we are really, really making sure that these stories are left of field and funny or mysterious. Yep. You know, maybe there's been a pair of boots sitting in there from the 70s and no one goes near them because they think they're haunted or something. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe there's a bald guy in your ballroom. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yep.
Maybe there's a bald guy on ball bags.
When you went to sign for R.I.P, you saw a guy out the corner of your eye in
chained
the ballroom.
Going, going like that.
Just a man being changed up in the club room.
Yeah, but it's Gavin.
No.
You know what, guys? I'm not going to say who it was, but it was Gavin.
But we need the left field story.
This is a rogue pod. This is a rogue pod. It's got atmospheres of rogueness.
I'm going left.
Got no structure. If Jerome doesn't have any structure,
Jerome's got no structure.
I've got structure. I just like
we're off the grid here.
I just like being off
Apologies
the
to
grid.
everyone at home.
Or not.
Well, you know what? I actually did see, and I do take this comment seriously, but I mean, come on. Was the NPL Legends game, someone commented like, you know, be careful of what we're putting out because of like I was drinking and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't bring the rucky to the game. Just saying.
Yeah,
be careful
what am I
we're
supposed
putting out.
I know.
because like there was kids, you know, you be careful that you got young kids watching us, which we take seriously. But but I mean, am I going to turn away the rucky because you know?
No, you want your nuts warm and
this
your
was on our
drink warm.
YouTube video or something, was it?
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm going to be real with you guys. Some of our content obviously isn't for children, and we make that quite clear. I press
There's
no.
a disclaimer on every
There's
episode.
a disclaimer on every episode, and I press no, it's not made for kids on YouTube. So that's up to you as a parent to monitor what they see or not, I guess.
And also, by the way, it wasn't that bad what the clip was.
And we also like
It's a pre-game shot of
it's a bigger
Rakia, man.
discussion. It's something that we talk about behind closed doors because we're aware we got some younger listeners and that kind of thing. And we try to curate it to not be too vulgar and stuff like that. But also there's a reality in football and who we are as people. And we're not these perfect, 10 out of 10 people. We've got our flaws. We've got our little unique quirks.
Fat, bad posture.
We swear.
Yep.
Like, for example, right? And as you do, by the way, as you do.
Oh, yeah.
So then is it right or is it fair to teach kids to not do certain things or to shelter them from certain things when you yourself do them?
Oh.
Well, yeah,
That's
but
a really important
philosophies.
No,
I mean, you're right, but I mean,
look,
I'm not going out pre-game drinking rucky every game. It was just like, you know, it was a bit of a one-off occasion.
No, sorry. I was talking about more stuff like swearing, for example, right? Do we go, like, okay.
Been swearing since
everybody
the show
tells their
started,
kids
haven't
not
you?
to swear, right?
Yeah.
But everyone swears.
Oh, yeah. That's why I think my parents tried to tell me once maybe, and I said, ha!
Yeah.
And then my dad said fine and then put on fat pizza when I was 5. So
it's a really hard one, right? Because it's like, it's a reality of language. People swear. So, and you swear yourself. So at what point do you start to allow your children to swear? And at what, like, do you keep shelter? Like, what do you think? For example, if you have a son, and he says a swear word, are
he's
you
gonna-
gonna
he's gonna
say
be
straight away, don't say that?
Oh,
What's the
up to a
language like?
certain age, I'll be like, don't say that.
What age?
I would say 12
Can you explain to me why?
because I don't want. I have a thing of like I don't want my because I used to look at like those kids with like earrings, but they were too young to have earrings and shit, and like just a little rat tail, and I'd always be like, "Fuck you, you little cunt," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't want my kid to look like that." But once he's past a certain age, go for it because your dad's a potty mouth. Like I'm a potty mouth.
What about you?
I'd be I don't really care too much. I probably like when they're in primary school. I'll
Who the
be
hell is
opposed to
going to
it.
procreate with me?
I mean, at some point the kid's gonna have wings, aren't they? You gotta
Exactly. Let them fly.
Yeah, it's hard because I actually don't know because
But I feel like our content, a big part of it is like it's quite good. Like I mean, maybe language, but that's part of what having your own platform is. You can speak and move the way you want.
Yeah, I'm going to be real. If you go into an MPL change room, you're going to hear some
An
vulgarities.
MPL game.
It's not just that. The kids are watching Philly and Chunks and all these guys, and
Yep.
those guys are doing the
Sexual innuendos.
sexual innuendos and the swearing or whatever. So
Yep.
Yeah, well, I think
There's
we're
nothing
pretty
worse
tame.
on
I
suited
think we're
and
pretty
booted.
good, man.
We're Australian made as well. You know, and that has to say go for something.
what does that even mean?
can tell
you know when people
we're
love
Australian made as he wears a Brazil.
You know when people love when shit's like,
That green triangle.
no, yeah, that green triangle, but like even Americans are like, and most importantly, it was made in the USA. Yeah,
True
so yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's get back on track.
Eagles start flying.
Fucking talking about. I don't give a fuck if you kids swear or not. So we had a DM right regarding Gavin's living situation at Arpia. This trumps Gavin's situation. I'm going to be real with you.
Okay.
Okay, Gavin thought he was cool because he lived at Arpia. Well done, bro.
Yeah.
This is insane. Matthew Symes.
Are you supposed to
him
read
out.
out his name?
I've already asked him.
Please keep this anonymous.
First sentence. Hey, this is Matthew. Please keep this anonymous.
He's just deleted all social media. Are you sure you were supposed
I asked him. It's fine. He said, got a story that tops that, unfortunately. Me and two international boys signed at George Cross back when they were at Chaplin Reserve across from Footscray train station. We lived in the press box for 8 weeks. If the press box walls could talk, boy, the stories would be unbelievable. I'm going to put up in this snippet the videos of where they lived. They were living in a press box, bro, like having to move their bed. Someone said 5 a.m. after a night out and he 2-footed his own bed. Like it's not
a video?
Yeah, it's a video, but it's not loading. But imagine living in a press box.
What club is it?
George Cross. There will be a few people that follow this page that know about this living arrangement. Wait, so it's like an ongoing thing?
They're living in a press box in sunshine.
At George Cross, I feel like they've got a nice setup at George Cross. Really nice.
He said Gavin got a 5-star mansion at Arpia. We got a 0.1 star box in Footscray. Gavin, you didn't have it hard. These boys...
Why are people living at clubs?
Yeah, that's the real question.
That's the real question.
Hey,
Why,
can
like-
you guys comment if you've ever lived at a football club?
Why?
How about how Gavin
Also-
goes, well, because my dream was when I was a kid to live
Yeah.
have a football ground in my backyard.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
were
like he's-
I don't think that.
That's
Did you like how I went on AI image creator and said bald guy opens blinds to football pitch in backyard?
Get that.
Yeah, bro.
But
AI.
hey, also got glass half full kind of guy, Gav. He's
Glass overflowing.
He's turned that story into a dream come true.
This guy's glass overflowing. Wow.
Oh, man.
All right, let's we'll talk about Tony Popovic.
Papa.
Right, so I just want to go through a few things because I want to get Rash's take on this specifically. So, as you guys are aware, Tony Popovic is now the new head coach of the Socceroos and Graham Arnold is on his way out or already is out. And I read something interesting that Graham Arnold said in regards to how he made his decision to leave. He said he spoke with Wayne Bennett.
Just we should know who that is.
I don't even know.
Wayne
But
Bennett, is he...
he's an NRL guy,
He's
isn't he?
he's like an NRL legend of a coach. Guru. Any team he touches does really well.
Okay, so he said, I spoke to Wayne Bennett after the game, after the Bahrain game, because I was feeling this way for a while, just not one game. He just asked me 3 questions and he made it very simple. The first question was, when you wake up in the morning, are you excited to go to meetings and the training pitch? Graham said no. Question number 2, when you look into the players' eyes, what do you see? Are they really switched on? Are they focused? Graham said, no, I don't think they are. The last question, if you had a lemon and you squeeze the lemon, is there any juice left in it? Graham Arnold said no. And he said, so there's your answer. So Graham Arnold basically thought, you know what? I'm not enjoying this anymore. I don't think the players are on board, basically. It's time for me to move on. I could have told you that. You didn't have to go to Wayne Bennett. So just where the Socceroos are at now, to give you some context, we sit 5th in a 6-team group after 2 games. The top 2 ranked teams will earn automatic qualification for the next World Cup. 3rd and 4th ranked sides will fight on the 4th round, where 2 more automatic spots are up for grabs. There is a final chance to qualify as well, but Popovic and everyone at Australian football know that they need to avoid that drama-filled path, because it's not a good one. We've been down it a few times. It's very stressful. We're good enough to automatically go through, especially on a 48-team World Cup. So, Popovic, I want to talk about his appointment, okay? So, let's not sugarcoat it. He's a good coach, okay? He's a good Australian coach. He's done well in the A-League, and obviously an ex-player at the highest level. But there are some concerns, and those concerns are, everyone would always talk about Australia and not scoring enough or not playing free-flowing football. I just want to give you guys a stat. Our XG, which I'm not a massive fan of, but whatever, against Bahrain was 0.47, and our XG against Indonesia was 0.52.
Do you want to explain what XG is?
XG is expected goals. And we basically were expected to score half a goal. So the ball was maybe halfway over the line.
Wait, can you just give the listeners, because I'm in this boat.
Yeah.
How do they judge where do they get that figure from? Where do they get
I
XG from?
assume it becomes from like dangerous chances created, time in the opposition half, time in the opposition box. I'm sure all those things play into
So is that data post-game?
Yeah.
So, in other words, we're creating chances.
Well, in that context, you're not creating
We're
any
not.
chances in those 2 games.
Okay, right.
Yeah, we're
okay,
not,
so there's
because
no
it's
chance
low as
being
hell.
created. Okay.
Yeah. So now, again, I'm not a Tony Popovic expert, but I know the rough sort of ground level basis of how he plays. He sets up defensively very well. Victory were rock solid at the back last season, right? Defensively, he's always set up well. But eyebrows were raised because from his tenure of coaching, he has not been known to play an expansive, free-flowing, attacking style of football. Now, tell me if I'm wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that he's set up quite balanced / defensive rather than all-out attack or, explosive, flair, dynamic football, which is what the Australian fans want to see. Now, granted, I'm taking results over style of play any day of the week, right? But can you grind out results all the way? Also, another thing that I feel like needs to happen is we need to integrate these young, exciting players, man.
On that, because I was going to ask, with the younger player thing, if the second reason that he says he's not interested in the coaching job anymore is that he sees no hunger in the squad, right? Does that, in my mind, it wouldn't be a thing of, I see no hunger in the stars. It's that I see no hunger in general, and that's why the young guys are getting no time as well. Because if they're young and they have no hunger, so no experience and no hunger, they're not going to perform at all.
But this is where it gets tricky because maybe they just had no hunger playing for Graham Arnold.
Well, yeah, I find that really hard to believe that they don't have
Me too.
hunger.
I agree with that. It feels a bit like scorn.
It's just the connection.
No. Yeah, I'm assuming the question when Wayne Bennett's putting it to him is around, are you creating hunger within them? Like, are they at their hungriest?
Like, are you a motivator?
Yeah,
here?
you motivating them basically.
Okay.
Can I just say something on Popper though? So for instance, maybe Western Sydney is like, we can separate his lives in the A-League with Perth and Western Sydney. But the first thing is, I mean, he's the only coach that won the Asian Champions League.
True.
So he knows the confederation. He knows the arena well in regards to the styles of plays across the different nations. But also when he came in at Victory, one of the main reasons he was hired is the year before he was there, they had the worst defensive record in the league.
Yeah, and he fixed that.
So, yeah, his job was essentially to come in and, like, stop leaking goals. Yeah. Going forward, I always felt with him, and I say this with love because some of the players at Victory I love, like Brimmer, D'Agostino, Fornaroli, they didn't necessarily have as much pepper going forward. Like, they had Valupale and Falami on the wings, who were kind of still developing themselves. Brimmer was kind of having a breakout year. D'Agostino was, like, on the fringe of Socceroos, but, you know, there was no depth outside of him until maybe they brought Bruno in, but Bruno's 38, 39.
True, all true.
So maybe with the right players and utensils, I think also if we're not scoring goals, I would like to have a coach that knows how to not concede.
Well,
first and foremost, to not drop too many points.
Well, I don't know the exact stat, but Australia actually hasn't conceded too many goals. I think it was like 4 in their last 16 games or something. That could be wrong. But I've read that Australia really hasn't had a problem conceding too many goals. Our problem is that we probably don't score enough against certain opposition. And I think the main thing is we want to see exciting football. Now, I know that's not going to happen every game, but it's just choosing players who are exciting, you know, the Irankundas and stuff. They're the types of talents we want to.
I think he'll play them though. He'll play them. He's shown that he plays young players.
But also let's have a realistic view, right? Irankunda, as good as he is and as much as he deserves to play, how much senior football has he actually played to be spearheading a nation? A lot of the games he played in Adelaide was off.
Spearhead it though.
Well, who is like? Do we have a form? Do we have a front three that's formed? I think that's very critical in a World Cup qualifiers.
I don't, but I think Irankunda needs to be in it.
I don't disagree.
Do you have a player in his position that is significantly better?
No, I don't. But I'm also saying, like,
so he's worth the risk in my mind.
Yeah, worth the risk.
Kind of the Lamine
But
Lamine
also,
Yamal
if we go off
situation.
historical squads, probably a person that's gone to Bayern Munich with his A-League experience, despite the flashes of brilliance.
Yeah.
How many games did he actually play 90 minutes when he was here? It's not a lot.
Yeah.
It actually isn't a lot. So he's like, despite his talent.
I'll just say you fucking hate him, bro.
So, all right, so,
No,
so
it's
potentially
not.
he's worth having
I'm
40
just saying,
minutes a game,
like
35 minutes a game.
Previously, before him, it was Matthew Leckie. It was, you know, these players that are like trained and trialed in international football, played 4 or 5 years of senior level games. Same with Kusini Yengi. He's probably a player that needs to be recognised as like a starter.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
You've got Taggart, you've still got McLaren that's there to score goals, but then I just don't think they've tied in who the locks are up forward.
I just want to say one more thing before we go to Rash, because I really want to hear from Rash, but this is all from an interview. One thing he made clear is that there should be no talk about Australia not having the cattle to perform.
This is Popper, you mean?
Yeah.
Or Grandma?
This is Popper. He said, we have good players. It's a different generation of players. We've got young players coming through the A-League as well. So he doesn't want to hear no excuses about we don't have the quality. And that's what I said last week. I don't want to hear those excuses that we don't have the quality because, I don't expect us to win the fucking World Cup, but we do have the quality to not be sitting second last in our group. Like, I just don't think it's a... But
I mean, especially when you do look at the group, it's Jordan's top, South Korea. Oh, wait, sorry, that's my group. It's Japan, Saudi, that is tough. They're top 2. Bahrain, Indonesia, Australia, China.
Yeah, we should be third.
Yeah.
I know on paper...
Top three.
Yeah. I know
even
on paper,
third is a bit low.
But can I ask you guys, what do you think is the difference about what qualities do you need to lead or to coach a national team as opposed to a league team? What are the differences?
Well, I think one thing that Popper I think is naturally going to be he's intense. Like his regimes are intense. Every football club he's gone to, from like when you enter the building to when you leave, it's a pretty eggshell kind of process of like you're there to perform, you're there to get the best out of yourself. I don't know what he's like as a man manager, but I assume that as an international manager is like there's an element of like you've always got to have your players back. You're always going to be communicating with them when they're playing in their domestic leagues, wherever they're at. You've got to have that kind of, I guess, that connected relationship. I don't know what he's like at that, but I feel like his intensity of what he will bring in camps and in those short weeks, he's naturally going to be a fit for. I don't know what he's like from a man-manager point of view, and I think that's a very critical part.
To answer your question as well, you need to be able to implement your style of play and your philosophies quicker than a club manager. You're not going to get, 10, 15 games to try to implement your style. Like, you're going to have to do it in the 2-week camp.
That's the thing. You don't even get 10, 15 days sometimes.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be good at that. I think that's probably one of his strengths, for sure. Do you think that may work against him, though, in an international type format of, like, being such a authoritarian type? Like,
maybe.
Do you think that works in a national team setup?
But I kind of back him. Like, I've kind of backed the Socceroos judgment here of now they're going down the Australian coaches route, which I like, that they know enough to know that it can work. Like, I don't think they've just taken that decision lightly. I think they've made it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I feel like, though, from what we hear around players who've had him in the league, it's very much my way or the highway. You've got to be a runner first and foremost type mentality. You've got to be super fit before you can do anything else.
The reason I asked the question is because in my mind, I see national teams as the cream of the crop, right? Best of the best players. So it's almost like walking into a Galacticos, Real Madrid. It's a bit different, of course, Socceroos compared to Real Madrid. But, like, does the Popper style type of coaching work when you walk into the dressing room of Real Madrid? Probably not. I doubt it. If you got Ronaldo, Benzema, these type of big personalities that don't really want to be taught in that way and told everything what to do, they may have some pushback. And I wonder, in a national team setup, if you're getting the cream of the crop, do you get that kind of arrogance of a player?
Do we have
This
those?
is just me. I don't know. I'm just asking sort of questions here. Like, do you think you get that type of a player that's a bit too big of a head for receiving that kind of?
Well, I don't know who. Maybe Jackson Irvine, Matty Ryan. The rest, like,
But Jackson,
Harry
look at Jackson
Suter.
Irvine, though. He's not that guy.
No.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We're not Real Madrid in our group. Like, we are definitely, we're 4th or 5th. So that style, mate, we need to kick up the arse. Do you know what I mean? We need that extra bit of fight. And
I always felt like Graham Arnold was the kick up the arse guy, though.
I don't know where the wheels fell off with Graham Arnold as well. It's interesting to see how that's fallen off so quickly, because it felt like that was a quite a healthy relationship. Particularly because he's always been quite good with young players, like from his Central Coast days to Sydney FC and so forth.
That's why I find the whole lemon analogy on the third point that Wayne asked him, where he's like, there's nothing else I could squeeze out of this squad. Like, that means he's really, not in a loser way, but like giving up in a, like, there's nothing else I can offer here.
It's potentially because he felt like, not to talk for him, but like if you go to a World Cup and you win,
what's left?
Stuff like, what else is there really to do from a Socceroos point of view? Win the World Cup, it's going to be very hard to do.
Well, yeah, it's also he that didn't believe in the squad, or he's tapped out like himself. Like it's a pressure job.
Because if you've done it before and then you try to do it again and you feel like I can't do it again, then it means I don't have the tools or the players that could do this again. And so that's where I can't squeeze anything out of the sling.
And we might have to, like, honestly, we might have to miss a World Cup. As awful as that is.
I'm not accepting that. I'm sorry.
Jerome, we're in the group with Saudi and
Brother,
Japan.
it's a 48-team tournament. We got double the chance.
Yeah, but still, like, we're not getting Saudi Arabia's football's ahead of Australia.
Of course they are.
Japan.
Yeah, but then, like I said,
top 3 qualify, right?
Okay.
Top
no,
2,
well,
3 go into a playoff.
Yeah.
3. Let me read it exactly.
We have to qualify.
3. So
we only have to qualify because we're used to it.
The 3rd and 4th ranked sides fight on to the 4th round, where 2 more automatic spots are up for grabs. We have to be in that spot. There's that we have to.
Like, yeah.
We have to. I'm not going to USA without fucking Australia there.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is as someone.
Yeah, but you're saying that with your heart, like with your head. Are we good enough,
bro? But okay, we've made every other World Cup since.
I'm not talking about that. That's irrelevant to today.
Hold on, I'm so sorry. No, one sec. I want to.
It is though, isn't it?
Hold on, one sec. Why?
What do you mean? Why?
You say
I'm
maybe
asking you that.
No, but you're saying maybe we have to miss out on a World Cup.
Well, because it's a complete change of squad. And
I know it won't be.
Well, it kind of is in a sense. Like it's a whole new attack. It's a whole new bunch of players that are getting capped. It's a new identity of Socceroos under a coach.
Yeah.
To have that gel really quickly, I'm just saying I think the chances are against us even more so with that.
But
like if it clicks, great.
But the
we're
FA
in the thick of qualifying.
I guarantee you, the FA have said if we don't qualify for the next World Cup, we're getting someone else. There's no way they brought him in to if you don't make it, we'll see, we'll build.
I'm probably not talking from Popper's point of view. I'm probably more talking like as a squad
Yeah.
that needs to have some trials and tribulations, or they need to have some success to have some connection.
I'm sorry, boys, you've got no choice.
There's a lack of connection.
I fully agree with this because if you think about it, there's not that many Socceroos from even the previous World Cup that have trickled into this squad, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Saudi or Japan or whatever, they still have the leftovers, and the smaller Asian countries have gotten better as well. So that's a big thing. So it's Australia's fresh, and then a lot of these, the Bahrains, the Omans, the whatever, they're also getting better. The
like, would you
Indonesias.
say, have we got better? Like everyone else has kind of got better. I don't think we've got better.
I wouldn't say we've got worse.
Yeah, but the fucking annoying thing with us is, right, we struggle in these qualifiers and then we go to the World Cup and then we beat Denmark and we beat Tunisia and we take Argentina to the wire. It's almost like when we get there, there's just this new fire, but the lead up to it is we always take the long way.
Wasn't our start to the last qualifiers like perfect from memory?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know if we can check that, but yeah. Anywho, I don't know. It's going to be. I guess
it was, but then we had to beat Peru in a playoff.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're all kind of. I guess we're all sitting in the same boat of like. I don't know where we don't know what's to come with Popper.
Yeah,
Rash, stop asking us questions. What's your take on it?
I think that's the thing because my take is difficult because I'm kind of on the fence. I'm not sure. I'm looking at, for example, his past results, like recently. Obviously, he's won, a lot in the past, or he's done really well at club level with Wanderers. But I don't know. Was there any better options? Probably not. Obviously not.
God,
otherwise, they would have gone with him. But I'm kind of on the fence with. That's why I'm asking questions because I'm not sure what's the issue. Watching games, I'm not seeing much. Is it the players? Is it the coach? Is it the situation? It remains to be seen, I think. I don't really have a stance on it. I know you want to argue with me, but I don't. At the moment. I
want to disagree with Noor and Jake for a sec in terms of the squads changing from the World Cup. I'm looking at this game against Bahrain. Matt Ryan, Harry Sutar, Rouse, Bayic, Irvine, Metcalf, Goodwin, Duke, Boyle.
Oh, that was actually quite consistent.
Yeah, Devlin.
Well, then maybe that's the problem.
There's not enough fresh,
but I don't think there's going to be a massive, most of those players will play at the next World Cup. I'm telling you. Maybe except for, Aziz Bayic or, Craig Goodwin, the older boys. But Aiden O'Neill, Owen Mabild, Thomas Deng, most of these guys were at the World Cup. So
I think also for me, I honestly struggle to understand international football. For example, if I was a betting guy, I would get it wrong every time.
It's a bit of a lottery, yeah?
Yeah, I'd get it wrong because I look at the start of the tournaments and I think, that team looks good, that team looks good, they're going to do well. And it's always other teams and there's always upsets. So international football, I feel like in league football, I can look and see this is what makes you do well. In international football, I don't think I understand it. Maybe because I never played it.
It's continuity, bro. Continuity is a key aspect of international football. Having the same people, personnel, coaches that can build success. Why I'm saying why the Popper thing's interesting is because to have instantaneous success, it could happen, but realistically, you judge someone after a 2-year block or something at an international level. Do you know what I mean? You got to give them a couple tournament runs to have a really, really strong view.
For sure.
But maybe to your point, and you're right about maybe the squads there. That's maybe a misunderstanding on my part. But I thought, did the squads in the first 2 games change a lot, or was that a consistent 11?
I don't know. But back to your point of,
because maybe then that's the problem.
So what are you saying? You saying that maybe the squad needs to change?
Maybe. Whoa.
Well, yeah, I think it does.
I wouldn't say ridiculously change. I'd keep stalwarts, but I would throw in.
Yeah, you have to.
I would throw in the risk cards with it. The Aaron Kundas,
because for example, when you start a tournament, you start watching a tournament. Do you feel like you can pick who's going to win the tournament before they play? By looking at the team sheets, by looking at the coach. Do you reckon, if I was betting, I'd probably have a good chance of winning here? International, not league.
I can't pick
League's
one.
like easy.
I can pick
feel like.
4 teams. I can't pick one. But I fucked it for the Euros.
Like, for example, that's what I'm saying. Like, before they played, would you have said Spain?
Do you know what's funny? There's a tweet out there of mine, right? From the first game that Spain played at the Euros, I said, how the mighty have fallen. I said, look at this lineup.
See what I mean?
I said, compare this lineup to like when Spain was literally just half Barca, half Madrid, and then they ended up being the best team at the tournament.
But I think with Spain, everyone got caught off guard by how good Lamine Yamal was and Nico Williams.
Yeah, of course.
At 16 and 18.
Of course.
No one thought that could carry a tournament.
Yeah.
But even Argentina, right? They lose their first game to Saudi.
Yeah, that was good, eh?
Like, it's so random international football.
Well, that's the beauty of it, I guess.
I don't quite understand.
Yeah.
But I think the bottom line here, is that the FA have brought in Tony Popovic to make sure Australia qualify for the next World Cup. I think that is the number one absolute must.
But we should also give Arnie his flowers, man.
Man, Arnie did his thing. Look, I wasn't a massive...
Bro, he went to a World Cup, man. It's not easy. It's very tough, man.
The thing with Arnie is, I wasn't like, oh, yeah, he needs to go, he's shit. But then I also wasn't like, oh, my God, he's incredible, he's a man for the job. I'll give him his flowers. He did his thing. It's a tough gig. And to be honest, I'm not much of an international football guy. I only watch tournaments. I barely watch international friendlies. I think nation leagues is crap. And World Cup qualifiers, the only ones that I'll really sit there and watch with a vested interest is like, oh, we have to win this game or else we're not going. But I'm not a massive fan of international football like that. Club football offers me so much more until the tournaments actually come. But this is where the important moments start, man. This is where the foundations start. And, again, I'm not an expert on how Popovic plays and stuff, but it's not looking the most exciting when Australia's like, oh, we want more free flow, we want more goals, we want more chances, and we've brought in someone that's not that. Like, I would have loved to see Muskie, but he probably turned it down.
Yeah,
there was probably a situation.
Well, he's got a club, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, but like I said.
Papa didn't have a club.
Yeah, so there's that. It was probably a good fit. Look, we'll do all right. We should make the next World Cup. If we don't, someone else has to come.
Honestly, we really want to go to that World Cup too. So, like,
yeah, I want to go to Mexico and Canada. So,
he keeps dropping out of America.
So, no, but seriously, if we get in a group with America and we beat them, I might explode.
America.
Pulisic hat-trick.
Yeah. No.
Nah, shout out Arnie though, man. He did well. And also, people forget he was Hiddink understudy.
Yes, he was too.
So tournament football, that type of stuff, it's a different realm of management.
It is.
I don't know if it's more cigars to like kick back because you kind of get that with the European coaches who like when they take a national team job, you're like, are they just doing this for like the bag and to chill a bit more? But
it is crazy how much management kind of splits into this guy either does international football or club football.
Well,
Yes and no.
how about the managers that are like just made for relegation battles? Have you heard about this?
Well, yeah, like your Sean Dyche, Sam Allardyce. Sam Allardyce will save you. Big Sam will always save you. Well, he didn't save Leeds, but most of the time he will. Well, Dyche. Yeah, like there are managers.
That's what I mean. So there's like a skill set for certain types of situations, like obviously international league, relegation, winning titles, finishing mid-table Chelsea.
did you hear the story about what Pep asked Kyle Walker to do for him recently?
Hold on, what'd you say?
Finish that sentence. What were you going to say?
No. What'd you say? Pep and Kyle Walker sprays his hair on.
Continue.
Rash just gave me a jab, but he doesn't have a team, so I can't really take that seriously.
No, so Pep Guardiola goes, Kyle Walker goes, can you ask Neil Warnock, two managers he wants to meet, English managers, Neil Warnock and Sam Allardyce. And so he got Neil Warnock and Sam Allardyce up to the players' lounge, and Neil Warnock's going to him, he's like, they were doing a podcast about it, he's like, mate, Ake, he's like, didn't think he was going to be a player, but he's turned out to be quite good. And he's like that Doku guy. And Kyle Walker goes, Pep coach Messi, Neil Warnock, like he knows what he's doing. He's like sitting there like, what?
And Rash, that's a good point, because when Ancelotti went to Everton, it didn't work. Ancelotti needs to be in charge of
superstars,
top two team, title contenders. you know. And obviously you got to build up to that point. You don't just start by doing that, but yes, like for most of the situations, yes. But then you have people like Company who's gone from a relegated team to the biggest team in Germany. So there are those outliers.
To be fair, which is why I think Pep is so, like everyone knows he's good, but I don't know if we know like how good he actually is. Like to do what he's done.
He's not human, so
he's
there's that.
I think he's
absolutely
demonic on football.
ridiculous.
What do you reckon it is
Different
about
countries,
Ancelotti,
different
by the
players, different types
manager.
of leagues.
Like, yeah, but like,
Ancelotti
what
is the
what is it about the man management?
I'll tell you what
that
it
he
is with
does?
Ancelotti, right? Because I know the guy. Ancelotti would... this is just purely speculation. Ancelotti would make you feel so comfortable. I feel like if I had any issue, I could go to Carlo and be like, boss, this is what's going on. And he just seems really understanding. He seems chill and he seems like the best man manager. And obviously he's got a football brain, but from what I've heard is he's not really out on the pitch yelling, screaming and shit. He lets his coaches do that shit. But when it's game time, he'll bring the boys in and be like, listen. And everyone listens to him. He's like the old mafia capo that everyone just, hey, shut the fuck up, Carlo's talking. Like,
Do you think, honestly, like let's say scenario, right? Carlo Ancelotti comes down to your seven-side team.
yeah, I'll bow down to him.
You guys win the league?
Yeah, we're not even in a league, but
Okay.
well, I don't think you'd be able to control some of the boys down there. Yeah, some of the boys have such shit ball knowledge, they wouldn't even know what it is.
But then what about Pep, right? So say, for example, 1 year, your team A
He stifles creativity. though.
with Carlo as your
Yeah.
leader.
Yeah.
And then Pep, who wins seven-a-side team?
I would play better under Carlo. Because I feel like Pep would
Because he'd
piss
calm
me
you
off.
down.
Yeah,
Calm you
Carlo
down.
would calm me down, and Pep would be like, always making weird sounds and shit. Like
Kicking
Carlo,
the fence when you miss.
yeah, like Carlo would just raise his eyebrow and chew his gum, and I'll be like, I got this, Don. Don't
Like
worry.
he talks about he builds his squad around his style and structures around like the best players in his team. So he used to be at AC Milan back in the day. It was like that 4-4-2 diamond formation.
Killer.
Try and figure it out or whatever it was, and then he's completely changed his whole philosophy with the big teams.
Bro, 4-3-3 at Chelsea. Oh my God, we were so good that season.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were a joy to watch. But
I have a signature.
do you?
Yeah.
Can I have it?
If I can find it. Him and
I'll have it.
Who was the president of AC Milan back in the day?
So Silvio Berlusconi.
But he was the president of Italy as well, wasn't he?
yeah.
At the same time.
And
Was there a
also-
bit of racketeering as well.
there was some rack, all right.
Yeah, they were all.
bit of a Rico over there.
So just to jump in with some stats, just because like I find it very interesting and it's such a nuanced game of like what works, what doesn't as a coach, right? Our beloved Ange Postecoglou right now with Tottenham Hotspur, I saw each other the other day. League position 10th, average possessions 63.2%, first in the league.
Yeah.
Crosses 126, first in the league. Passes into the penalty area 71, first in the league. Shots on target 33, first in the league. Touches in the final third 1,267, first in the league.
Damn.
League position 10th.
That's where they
Isn't
belong.
that fascinating, bro?
It is. It's weird because, and that's why I don't fully ever put all my stocks into stats. And I'll give a prime example. I know you said I can't mention Chelsea, but guess what? I'm going to do it. Drogba doesn't have the best stats compared to your Agueros and even like Haaland at this point and Rooney and all that. Drogba is not like, he wasn't that guy. He's going to score 2 every game. He just wasn't that guy. If you look at stats, you would look at him and think, oh, no, he's nowhere near. Like, he's nowhere near, like, the top 5 or whatever. But you watch.
You take him into a final.
You take him into a final or you take him
His
to the
final
Emirates.
stats are off the charts.
He's 11 goals, I think it was, in a final or something. But if you... This is why you can't really put that into stats.
Okay, hold on. So I will play devil's advocate because I'm not a big stats person myself, but I'll
don't
play
care.
devil's advocate.
Didn't you just bring him up?
yeah, I know, but I don't believe
For
that's
the
what I'm saying. I'm
listeners.
just saying like how nuanced,
How
it is.
crazy it
how
is.
crazy it is that
Yeah.
you can be first on all those metrics, still be 10th, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So my question to you is: the stats people, the stats heads, would say, no, there are stats that you can measure why Drogba's good, and then maybe they're not goals and assists,
Yeah.
but there's other stats you could find that would explain why he's so important to the team.
Yes.
What do you think are the important stats in football as a player? Let's say a midfielder.
Well, to just rebuttal your point, when you look at a striker, though, you look at the basic shit, which is how many goals and how many games and whatever.
Yeah.
So, yes, there are stats. Like, you could put how many final goals Drogba has scored or, impactful goals or whatever, but they're not the key ones you look at. But to answer your question on what do you think the important stats are, I think one that I always put a lot of stock into is for midfielders, chances created. Because, we're talking about short back and sides.
Barbacino.
Yeah. His possession rate could be really high, right? But it's like, but what are you doing with it?
Yeah.
So, like, okay, you have 99 out of 100 passes completed. Okay, but are they penetrating? Or are they passes that are making stuff happen? So I look at that. I think for a midfielder, chances created if that's your job as a midfielder. But then, it just depends on where you play. Like, I want my DM to win all the loose balls. I want those stats to be high. I want the tackles to be high. I want my wingers completed dribbles to be high. Strikers, I would say, conversion rate for me. Because, you might have 5 shots in a game, but were any of them on target? Like, I'd rather you just have one that won us the game. That's just important. I'm not a stats guy. I'm not a tactics guy. But off the top of my head, that's what's important to me.
What about as a team?
As a team, I'm not too...
Well, like, for example, sorry, I'll ask the question in a more succinct way.
Yeah.
If we had to look at stat metrics
Yep.
that would tell you that a team deserved to win the league, what other stats that they would need to dominate?
Goals for.
Goals conceded.
Yeah, that's it. It's just goals for and goals conceded.
Goals
'Cause that's the only
conceded.
thing that separates a winner and a loser.
Yeah. Hugely goals conceded.
But that doesn't say anything about deserving.
Well, it correlates with most people that
but that's
do
what
win
I
the
say
league.
what's deserving.
But what is deserving, though?
It
'Cause
correlates
that's what
with
I
most
think
people that win the league, though. The ones that score the most goals and have the least against
What do
them.
you think, then?
Yeah,
Usually
but
win the league.
But that's what wins you. I'm talking about what deserves. So, because I could win, for example.
The fuck's the difference?
So I could say, okay, I could say, okay.
If you deserve it, you win it.
No, I won $1 million.
Yeah.
How did you win it? Oh, I bought a lottery ticket. You deserve to win the lottery because you bought a lottery ticket?
But
No.
who gets to decide who
because
deserves?
That's a
everybody
complete
bought the
different
same
situation,
ticket in
bro.
that situation, right?
How can we
So
compare that
everybody
to-
deserves. You can't just say buying equals deserve.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's my point. So what is deserving?
But scoring
winning.
more and conceding less is deserving.
I'll tell you what's deserving.
Because
I'll tell you what's
I've
deserving.
scored more than others.
I'll tell you what's deserving. Who the fuck has the most points at the end of the season? That's deserving.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, but what about... So we talked about have the Socceroos been performing. If we go back to the same discussion, we go, okay, well, then they have. Because they've qualified for every World Cup. They finished... So that...
Yes.
So now you are a stats person.
No, I'm not, because I'm saying that we're good enough. Fuck the stats. We're good enough to not take it to the wire and to beat Bahrain and Indonesia, plain and simple.
So you want to deserve to win the games.
No, I just want to win them. We don't have to. We don't have to dominate possession and have 60 shots.
Okay,
if
I'll
we
ask
win
it in a
1-0,
different way. I'll ask it-
fucking
okay.
Bob's your uncle.
All right, I'll ask it in a different way. What makes it that you will comfortably win games of football? What stats mean that you will comfortably win games of football? Not by luck or moments at the end.
I
or
can't
whatever.
tell you that
I'll tell you,
because every game's different.
No, it's
Is
whoever has
possession? Is possession?
I was
possession,
gonna say
possession
possession
in
is
your
one.
attacking third.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever has more possession in their
Yeah.
attacking third is more than likely going to probably... That's the sign of the more dominant team.
Yeah, and
Possession, one thing, but
that's key what he said. Sign of, but not equal to. Because Chelsea has great moments in our final third, but guess what? We have no fucking end product half the time. But then if we just looked at that stat, we'd be like, oh, Chelsea deserve to be much higher.
Oh, wait. Then wouldn't the stat, funny enough, even though I think it's a stupid stat as well, the expected goals be the one that decides whether you deserve it or not? Because that gives you a roundness of, based on the way you're playing, you're attacking enough to end up in positions where you can score.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
But
the
then it could be
expected
the
goals...
XG against you. You could have high
Could
XG
be, and high against.
and
you,
high
so that's
against,
facts.
but I think there is no definitive, there's no deserve There's no, you can't. There is no black and white answer.
Okay, I'll ask it in a different way.
Okay.
I'll keep coming from different angles.
Oh my God, this guy's hitting me in the back door.
You're a manager of a team,
Send
right?
these questions this way because I have silver bullet answers to all of them.
okay.
You're putting him on the spot
All right.
here with like fucking...
All right, sorry. All right. So
Sure,
you're a
yeah.
manager.
I did shit?
You're a manager of Chelsea, right?
No.
Sorry, you're a sports director of Chelsea. You're required to make the signings next year. Which stats are you looking for to get your team to perform so that then you're going to be likely to win? Because you guys are doing in retrospect, we scored more goals and we conceded less. That means we won. But I'm saying, how are you trying to win the game of football
So
for next year?
moneyballing the situation.
Yeah, moneyballing the situation,
Okay.
basically. What are you looking for to get your team to do statistic-wise?
But that's just his
which
style.
which is already said, is possession in the final third. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, but I mean,
That's your answer?
I think that's a healthy answer of who's going to win.
But it just depends on your style, though.
Yeah, that's why it's a very broad question to have
Like Pep's going to want a different player. He's going to want his wingers to do something completely different to them.
That's, yeah,
what
stylistic
Klopp
based.
does. Or it's all stylistic based. So I don't think there's one
Correct.
answer. For me, I would obviously I'd look at the numbers. But again, numbers don't say everything. So you really, every single signing, you're taking a risk.
They do give numbers though. They do stack up majority of the time though.
Yeah, they do.
Like if you look at who's had more shots and more shots on target, more than likely that team's probably won.
You know what the major thing is, bro? Fucking aesthetics. And I'll tell you why. Because Lukaku has so many goals in the Prem, bro, but no one ever puts him up in the conversation. You know why? Because every goal looks like he scored off the fucking shin and with Timberlands on. But he has so many goals.
With Timberlands on, it's crazy.
Nor, can you please tell us how many exact goals Lukaku has in the Prem? It's wild.
Just the Premier.
Yeah.
Bro, he remember when he was at West Brom, he scored 4 against Man U on the last day.
Just
bullied Ferdinand and
just
like almost,
bullied.
I think it cost him the title maybe.
But again, you don't look at him.
278 appearances, 121 goals.
That's
Oh my
wild.
God.
That's wild. That's wild.
Oh my God.
Side note, he's a very over-hated player.
Yeah, he is. It's because of how he acts.
Yeah.
Dickhead.
Is he a bad guy?
I'm saying he's an overhated player, and this guy calls him a dickhead.
That's he's just reiterating
Well,
the point.
you don't.
He has 121 Premier League goals. Not many people have anything near that.
He could score 700 goals. I don't care. Wait, someone said a crazy stat the other day. Oh, it was Antonio Cassano. He said, I could give a fuck if Ronaldo scores 3,000 goals. I don't stack him up with like Agueros and Ibras and all that because he can't do link up. He's just selfish. He wants all the goals for himself. That's what he said. So it's all just what you prefer.
Correct. It's your eyes.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why, just so people don't think I randomly hate Lukaku. You don't rejoin Chelsea, kiss the badge and all that, and then go do an interview saying how much you miss Inter and Conte and all that. No, you're here. You're here. And you've gone and done that interview when your form dropped. Like an idiot. You know, doing it to yourself, brother. You know what I mean? But he used to be my Facebook DP. I used to,
What?
Yeah, 100%.
Drogba.
Yeah.
So you just like any black nine for
Wait,
Chelsea.
who used to be your...
Romelu Lukaku.
He's called him a dickhead.
When he was at Anderlecht,
How old were you when
Wait, when he was at Anderlecht, he was your profile picture?
yes, no, I'm a football nerd. Because then I found
You're a loser.
nope. It's not worse than when my Facebook name was Jerome and last name World Cup.
I don't know why I don't know why I'm not getting any girls.
Wait, my middle name was Alves.
Your middle name was Alves.
Yeah, it's worse.
Which Alves?
Yeah.
He's catfishing girls. Hey, look, I thought you were darker than that.
You've just
that's
missed,
Romelu Lukaku. He plays for Anderlecht.
you've just missed Nor's middle name.
Oh no, what was
Yeah,
it?
it was Noor Alves, my last name.
Danny Alves.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a bit of Danny Elvis about him.
No, don't ever say that.
bro.
No, please don't say that.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
you
When
got a
I
bit
was
of
younger,
Robinho
I meant like for the people at home, he's bald with a beard. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh,
and when I was
sorry.
younger, had
That's
the
all I
curls
meant.
and-
Yeah, fuck Danny
okay,
Elvis.
sorry,
bro.
sorry,
that
sorry,
shit.
Danny
Yeah,
Elvis.
fuck that shit, bro.
Yeah, you know why he was my DP? Because everyone was calling him the second coming of Drogba, who's my favourite player. So, and then Chelsea signed him.
Yeah, you lost your mind.
I was like, oh my God. Like, bro, Andrew Naboot was my DP for 2 days.
And didn't you met him last
And
week?
we met him, and I said, "What up, dog?"
I wish you had known that before. God.
Bro,
Just made it feel real awkward.
Hey, Jerome, isn't this the guy you said you... How does your profile
Dude,
picture?
remember when Naboo scored those? Was it the 2 goals
Well,
against
it was
Sydney?
after that.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
Remember
it
that?
was those goals in
Hey, that
victory.
was fucking something special,
Wait,
bro.
how old were you when you put Andrew Naboo as
It was
your DP?
whenever he scored those 2
13,
goals against
14?
Sydney. Remember the 2 goals he scored at Allianz? The victory? I don't...
23.
Bro, yes. Naboo he cut sick for those
Bro,
2
can
games.
you just, can you just picture him at home on Google Images, like saving the
sorry.
picture, cropping Andrew Naboo's hair?
Hold on, you've cut out your mic. Just push it in. Push it in.
Yeah, push it in.
this is a rogue pod.
Go again.
This is the least structure we've had. It's
Oh,
unbelievable.
God. That's the best, bro.
Oh, well, you guys shouldn't jump on football Twitter if having people as your DPs freaks you out, because every single... There's grown men.
Who would be your DP now
it's
if you
just-
were having a footballer? Like, if you were having a football DP, who would be? Who's the guy for you now?
Well, my favourite player is Cole Palmer, but I'd do something funny.
Yeah, so who's
Yeah,
the
I'd
funny?
I'd do
who's
something funny.
Who's the funny?
Like, I'd do like...
So that's Suka.
Nah, like Chelsea. There was funny because Chelsea had 2 number 9s, and one was a centre back and one was a DM.
Oh, what was the centre
Steve
back?
Sidwell,
Yeah,
and
and
Khalid Boularus.
Khalid Boularus.
So I'd have like a freak, like a
You guys want to see my profile
Wait,
yes.
picture?
Wait, is that you celebrating? So Nor's got a photo with him lifting the Champions League.
0809 boss.
is that you with Shabby?
This is the first thing I ever did on Photoshop. I'll send you it later.
And you went, "No, I killed that shit."
You and Samuel Eto'o just raising the
I think I dressed up as Neymar once. That looked weird.
today.
Yeah,
No, it was like 2 weeks ago.
it's actually a mad jumper.
Thank you.
okay.
All right. Well, yeah, Andrew Naboot, man. What a
man,
guy.
I hope he sees this.
Yeah, he will.
That's
Yeah,
so
no,
funny, bro.
please, fuck, man. I wish he had known
Sorry,
before you met him.
were you guys just cool your whole team? Like, what was some weird shit you did? Don't just leave me hanging out here.
Nah, I probably did.
Didn't you have a muzzer cut?
Yeah, I probably had like Robinho or something like
He
that.
had-
Not
yeah,
Romelu.
he had Neymar's
Lukaku
cut at
Anderlecht.
Santos. He had Neymar's cut at Santos.
Yeah, before he had it.
So you started it.
Yeah.
When I first went to Gold Coast, I think Neymar's. I used to start where I wore those nose things.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even know why I was wearing.
But that makes sense. Neymar, Robinho,
yeah,
Lukaku at Anderlecht.
no.
Andrew Naboo.
It's called ball knowledge.
Lukaku was a baller, but still.
I would. You know what? It was a thing that's always been a problem with me is not being lumped in with everyone else. So like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I
can see
don't like saying my favorite player is Ronaldo.
that. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Like, ooh, cool choice, bro. So I went with Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah, I always choose a midfielder as my favorite player. Always.
Who is your
Centre
favorite
back
player?
for me.
Right now,
Mark Milligan.
no, it's been Modric for like the last 5 years. at
Yeah,
least.
you look like him.
Imagine we find Jake. Jake had a DP of Mark Milligan when he was
Millsy.
13.
Nah. Play with him, yeah.
Yeah, who's your favourite A-League player at the moment?
At the
Favorite
moment,
A-League player at the moment. Oh, damn, that's putting me on the
Andrew
spot.
Naboot's mine.
Who do I love to watch?
Matt McKay.
Oh, actually, before I answer that, did you hear what Zadkovic said about his 17-year-old centre back?
I think I read this.
Oh, which I don't know. It's a good or a bad thing. Like, I love what he said because it's great for Australia.
Yeah.
But also, like, should you say it?
Didn't he say he's going to be like?
He said he's the best defender in Australia today.
Oh, he's trying to do that thing.
Best centre back. He's 17 years old. I don't know if he's played a game. Can we check that?
I don't know if he's better than Franco
But he was
Federico.
doing the kit, like the kit presentation and whatever, and then he just looked at him and he's like, he's the best defender in Australia today.
Do you know what this reminds me
Which
of?
is, he's like talking about clubs have come in, they're offering like the right money for him.
What's his name?
I don't know. He's a
what I'm
tall,
trying to look
dark
up.
kid though. I forget the name.
Oh yeah.
reading the
Is he
article.
mixed raced?
Yeah, he looks mixed race
Yeah,
afro.
yeah. They've been talking
He's
about
tall.
him.
He's tall, man.
Oh, wait. The one that went to Central Coast?
No,
he's at Brisbane.
He's at
Oh,
Brisbane
Brisbane.
Raw.
Yeah. I forget. It'll be. You'll see it.
Yeah. What's his name, man? I
I'll
saw
look
him.
it up.
Saw him do an interview. He was really shy and like awkward.
I just
Wait,
like, man, regardless if
Ruben's-
he is, would you say that? Like, would you put that on a 17-year-old in front of everyone? I mean, maybe
Probably not.
There's a situation where it's happened.
I like
Well,
that. I like
depending
that
on
he
the
did.
player's
I like that he
personality
did. But yeah, it's like what happens when Douglas Costa burns you and maybe Pops one in the back.
He's not burning anyone. He's walking. This has happened before with Harry Redknapp and Frank Lampard.
Look, this is it.
Lucas Harrington? Or
Watch.
Harrington.
You ready?
That 17-year-old giant over there, yeah, he's Lucas is exactly what I'm speaking about. He's a kid that and he's a young man actually. He's a young man that is respectful, very hardworking, very intellectual, wants to play football the right way. He's an on-the-ball player. His ceiling's massive, and to shoot straight from the hip, which I like to do, he's the best defender in Australian football right now. For me, he's got the highest ceiling of anyone.
He said it.
Shoot straight from the hip.
There's two different things there, though. He said two different things slightly. He slightly said he's the best right now, and he's also said he's the highest ceiling.
Yeah. He did say both, though.
Yeah, highest ceiling, fair enough. Depends on the kid's personality. Like, if the kid can deal with pressure, then maybe he's just done that to him to, like, push him.
Yeah, but I feel like, again, I'm going back to Chelsea. I'm sorry. It's the only example I know. But it's a really good example of when Frank Lampard was at West Ham and everyone was calling him Fat Frank and saying he wasn't good enough. And Harry came out and said, no, let's have it. Let's have it right. This boy's gone straight to the top.
Yeah.
Right? And then Frank's sitting next to him like little Frank at little Johnny, little Frank at West Ham, and he's like, no, let's have it right. Frank's going straight to the top. He's going to be one of the top players.
That's really good at
right?
reenact as well.
Good. Right?
Really good. Can you give us a...
No, don't put me on the spot. I just did it cool.
Benjani, do that Benjani.
Benjani
when he didn't want to go. I was like, Benji, you've got to go to the airport, mate. You've got to... And he's like, he didn't want to go.
I'll tell you one thing.
I want to stay.
I'll tell you one thing that Harry always says. Terrific little player.
Nico Cranchcar.
Yeah, that Nico Cranchcar, terrific little player. But that situation there is because Frank was copying it. But he's just come out and said that off rip. But you know what?
I love
He's
it.
an Aussie player, bro. Go straight to the top, kid.
I love it.
Yeah. There's one thing I think is really significant, though, about a 17-year-old at centre-back being, like, respected or spoken of in this way, because I think oftentimes the attackers, maybe the midfielders, you'll play them as a coach. But to play a 17-year-old, they have to be so special because you got to be real strong to hold up like a 28-year-old striker.
But I also feel the problem with that statement, my only thing is, at 17 as a centre, you're going to make mistakes.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
and that's a position where
there's
mistakes
going to be that growing pain and stuff. Regardless. Like, if you're a ball player, you're going to maybe turn it over twice. Maybe one time.
Exactly.
Against a good player, you get punished twice.
Definitely.
Do you know? So that's the only thing. But
Zatkovic is just, I know he's a wog, and like I know he's like, but fuck it. Whatever. If you back your players like that, then it could turn out amazing. And if it doesn't, and he doesn't become the best defender in Australia,
that press conference will become famous.
Well, yeah, but again, like if you are being chosen at 17 to play centre back, you've got to have something about you.
It's important for clubs to do that now. I think.
And I want these young, bro. I want these. This is the type of players that I want to get Socceroo call-ins within a year or two. Like get look-ins. Like these are the young, exciting players. I feel like the current crop of Socceroos have done great, overachieved, as you've said. Made it to a round of 16 of the World Cup. They did amazing. They fought their asses off and made me and everyone else proud. But I think it is now time, to look to the youngsters, bro, because we got different style of players coming through. And I know Popovic, and it's been said, it's in our DNA to fight and be physical and all that. Yeah, that's cool. But we got some ballers. Let them play ball. Like, we don't have to always stick to we're Australian, we play physical. All right. Let's try something different. Anyway. Amateur agents.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot this week. Flippin' heck.
Flippin' heck, innit?
Flippin' heck, we got a lot. This is the best one we got, though.
Yes.
Sick.
I'm going to rub my own back here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Drogba. I can see you getting a gig at Optus Sport. You're well-spoken, confident, and you say it how it is. Could easily do a role as a presenter. Something like Claude's at the moment. Why not? Of course, while still pumping out those S&B episodes. Whoever that was,
thank you.
I love you a lot.
Thanks, Dr.
We agree, mate. We agree.
I agree. So what's the question for amateur agents?
I thought he was amateur agent.
Was that sent in by
that a
yourself?
question?
Everyone shut the fuck up and let him get his shit off. It's a statement piece.
Is that from Jerome?
Oh, how's this one?
No, you should be, bro.
Hey, before I say this, is this Sayat Chubukchu that asked this? I have a feeling it is. And if it is you, I'm going to laugh. I'm fat, 37, and never played football before. Or never played before. Oh, it's not him then. I'm fat, 37, and never played before. But my right foot is prem level. Should I hide my talent forever or bossy over 35s?
How does that work?
Hey, man, I reckon you should hide it forever.
You've been at 37 years. Go another 37.
Wait, you've never played before, but you have a right foot that is
right
prem level.
Hey, can I just ask you, I'll add the question into the person's statement at the end.
Yeah.
If Optus Sport give you an offer tomorrow, right?
Fuck you.
And they say, first of all, Jerome, mate, you can't keep posting those stories every week.
Nah.
Second of all, gut a mouth's got to stop.
Pot your mouth.
I don't know.
I'll pot your mouth over there, mate. You got to go. You know,
I didn't even know the head
you're on a
guy was
corporate
English.
brand.
I didn't know the head guy was English.
Could well be. They cover prem.
That's the question.
You know what?
Start to curate yourself.
I've always had this inner monologue where I always say that I'm a piece of shit in other aspects of life, but in terms of
where is he going to start with this?
Hold on.
We're trying to promote you.
Sorry.
yeah, no,
Sorry.
but with content, I've always had integrity. I feel, at least, I never really wanted to do things that I didn't feel were cool or were down my alley, and if I had to do them, I was making sure I was getting paid, or like, you know, it was a one-off type of thing. So if someone,
So you're a sellout.
no,
I've got integrity unless I'm getting paid.
no, I said once in a blue moon. So basically, never give this kind of mic again.
He's brought too much energy to the show.
But what I will say is, even with my old podcast and even with this one, I'd rather just be myself. But then I've never been offered such a large amount of money that would make me change my tone. So I don't know.
That's facts. No, because honestly, if Optus
Seriously,
come to you and you're like,
So what's the price that you could be
What's
bought
your
for?
price?
What could you be
Everyone's
bought
got a price.
let's
Yeah,
say,
but I'm just asking you.
You know?
let's say they tell you 60,000 for the year, once a week, you got to do something with us, right?
Fuck suited and... No, I'm joking.
And it's no swearing. Obviously, you're not going to swear.
Yeah, I'm not... Yeah, but Rash is talking about I've got to stop just random Instagram stories where I'm like, fuck Arsenal. Like...
Well,
These Chelsea rants.
yeah.
The Chelsea rants have to stop.
Do you know what it is, though? I've always thought about this. I have this conversation with myself in the car, in the shower, whatever, right? Everyone's got a price. Like, if someone comes to me tomorrow and says, you can never swear again on Suited and Booted, but I'll give you $50,000 a year, of course.
So
Like,
50K is your price?
no, just whatever. Random. I am so broke currently.
I knew it was going to end up with
Right?
this conversation.
And my posture is fucked.
Scoliosis.
Right? I'm the youngest person alive to have scoliosis hump neck. Right? I am so broke. Okay? This is plan A and B and C and D. I don't have degrees and shit. Like, this has to work.
It's like one of the things that I hated about being a footballer was I had to not show who I was to the world, and I had to like hide in this little corner. And
Yeah, true.
if there was alcohol in my photo, I had to like, I
Yeah,
can't
true.
post that. I hated that. I hated living like that. So one of the big things that when I finished playing that I wanted to do was like just be allowed to be myself, which starts to become hard, obviously, because you're coaching kids.
Yeah, that's-
so there's also an expectation around like what's okay for kids to see. That's a different discussion.
Kids is a big...
But it's like,
Yeah. Kids is a big thing, obviously, because it's, you know, there's a difference between me just swearing for the general population, but then if I was to run a football academy
yeah.
and I came drunk and I came high or I was swearing and stuff, that's obviously despicable.
Yeah.
But I think me swearing and stuff as a 29-year-old man
On your own podcast.
on my own
Yeah, I don't
podcast
think
is
that's-
like...
I don't think that's an issue.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's emotional.
Should a 19-year-old player trial at under 23 NPL or play State League 3 who will pay money soon? Nah, man, you're 19, man. Give
Keep
it one
pushing,
more crack,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah,
Keep
go
pushing,
for
bro.
it, bro.
Yeah, give it one more crack. Because you never know.
Still so young, bro.
Keep pushing, brother.
I hate that this app asks automated questions.
Yeah, they
Like-
keep notifying you.
I am nervous to ask you out. No one is ever asking me out.
What?
Hey, boys. I'm a 16-year-old boy. I reckon I'm NPL 2-3 player. Should I consider playing for a state league team under 23s or continue playing NPL 3 under 16s?
These are always tough equations.
Keep playing NPL, man. You're 16.
It's always hard to remember all the information in the
What
question.
is which?
You guys play for 9 leagues. What happened to fucking gold, silver, and bronze leagues or whatever?
Bro,
they
do
were
you know
called?
what fucking hurt my head?
A-League.
When we didn't realize what the Metro was affiliated with state league teams, and we thought they were like completely separate clubs. Bro.
Well, they're not making it easy, are they, with the bloody football pyramid and all the moving parts?
Yeah.
Far out,
You should
bro.
post more selfies. Like, I don't... That's not...
Hey, did you see?
What about
Did you
the
see his
selfie?
halftime? Did you see his halftime TikTok? Has he seen it? Oh, it's brilliant.
Yes, of course you have.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That'll come back. That'll come back.
He's coming. He's just crossed it in, man.
That'll-
I mean, I love him, but like,
That'll come back. That'll come back. Sorry, there's a lot here. Men's State League 2 to 5. Do you think there's a big difference in quality? Brother, yes. 5, good Metro players can play in. 2? No. You got to be a good player to play State 2.
two starting to have now like NPL goats come down and play.
It's a high standard.
Bayside Argonauts is literally like their team was ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't, unless you're an absolute animal in State 5, that you're not playing State 2. That's just no.
I
It's
think
just,
State 2's getting more legit.
yeah, it is. Money's coming in
Money's
allegedly.
coming in, yeah.
Like, there is a massive quality difference, man. The quickness of play, the physicality, like it. State 5, you're still going to have like, fellas like me rolling around. Rightio.
Would you play Rashid again?
He's done playing
You
for
done?
his
I
entire
can't commit
life.
to times and days, man.
Right.
And yeah, I just can't commit to times and days. Don't
I'm
have-
17 playing Metro divisions of Queensland. Is it too late to go pro? I want to be a prick, but I'm not going to be. It's never too late, bro. Seriously. Jokes aside, it's never too late. Jamie Vardy was playing non-league. So, same as look at Edouard Mendy. Went from literally nothing to winning a Champions League. But it is rare. And by 17, if you're a promising player, you should already be playing at a high standard, but you never know. Happy with that?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You got to work like a pro. You're
Yeah.
not working like a pro. How can you expect to be one?
What do you think of, I love this question.
Awesome.
What do you think about clubs who facilitate a large group of mates to play at a really low level and dominate? There's one team in Metro 10 who walked the league because they assembled a bunch of mates to play for fun. They were beating teams 14-0 some weeks. I think that's awesome.
Is this Jake's team?
No. My team, I didn't even play.
Yeah, he couldn't even score.
Yeah.
Is it that
I
team,
couldn't
though?
even front up.
Is it that team though?
No, this is Metro 10, bro.
No, our team, my team struggled, bro.
Hold on.
Like mid-table.
So there's Metro 1 through 10.
Bro, I didn't even know there was lower than 9.
There's lower than 9.
Hold on.
How
far from
many
the
leagues
A-League
are
are we
there?
at that point?
How many leagues are there in this
That's
state?
because I've also just clocked that Metro and State is not the same.
Well, yeah, but we thought Metro were like different teams, but they're like
No, it's
they
lower.
represent some of the state league clubs, but they just have a team that just
Yes.
plays in a.
Oh,
Anyone that says they have a thirds team is playing Metros. There's
Correct.
no thirds playing state.
Gotcha.
So he was saying sometimes in Metro, the teams that you play, like sometimes a couple of their actual senior state 2 players might
they
drop
just come
down,
wash the
and get
teams,
yeah.
So, look, it's
Shenanigans at this point.
it's pretty sad.
Borderline match fixing.
It's pretty sad, but I can't lie. When I was playing thirds in Metro, there was nothing that tickled my fancy more than when the coach or like the club captain or whatever said, boys, we've got a state 2 player filling in for us today. I was like, fuck yes. I don't have to run. I don't have to track back. I don't have to work hard. We're going to win 6-0. I'm not going to be anxious. I
From
loved
one
it.
player.
Bro, If you have a good state league player drop low metros and play them at like centre mid,
Yeah, all right.
they'll score a hat trick. Like
Sorry, what was the question?
So the question was, do you think it's like? What do you think about it?
I love that it's from any position, just put them in centre mid and they'll score a hat trick.
Like, what do you think about it? Do you think it's dog? Do you think it's fair?
Oh, nah, bro. All's fair in love and war, bro.
That's it.
If they want to play, if they want to play,
great quote.
Yeah, if they want to play, bro.
I
let 'em play.
don't know if there's ranking systems in Metro, grading games. So I think that's where the issue comes from.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just too hard to do that. But like, you're not going to get that in the state leagues, obviously. But bro, you know what I'll do? If you can't beat them, join them. So just say, hey boys, you got space for a left
Need
back?
some more friends.
Yeah, you guys need some more friends? You guys need a sub? 14-0 some weeks. Good on them.
bro. That's crazy.
Most, fine. Most effective preseason running drill. And how pedantic were you guys with your diet when you were playing pro?
That's Rashid one, surely. You'd have.
Well, Fahid told me a story that when I was at Victory and I was trying to lose weight, I was eating tuna cans and not having a proper lunch because I thought that was how you lose weight. And
it's a real calorie deficit.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
He said, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Sore every single day.
What's a good? I think you said this on the Alex King episode. What's a good running drill?
Oh, he did my.
Was that? Would you say that fits the question?
Nah, I think interval training. Anything interval.
Yeah, interval.
Stop, start. Increase in demand is a great one. Very simple, very, very simple. If you go on a 400-meter running track, divide it into every 50 meters. Sprint 50 meters, jog 350. Sprint 400. Sorry. Start again.
Just quit. Just quit.
The guy sprint 400 on the second one. He's thinking, "Fuck me."
This 37-year-old fat bloke is not doing this.
Fucking breathe.
No.
That first lap was easy.
Jog 350. Sprint 100, jog 300. Sprint 150, jog. You see how this ends until you're sprinting 400. That, bruh.
I would pay good money for all of us to sprint 400 and see, just to watch all of ours last 100 to see what state and shape we would be in.
You know, we
Just put it in slow mo and
I would
cut it up.
fuck, man.
Yeah, it's
I'd
gonna
be
be
dead
mad.
on
We're
the
not
like
doing it.
250, bro. I'd be dead.
I don't know if this. Sorry, can I just
quickly.
running drill? I don't know if this was a thing in Australia, but in the Middle East we used to do this. British coaches, and I can't remember what it was called. I think it was Devil's Run or something like that. Basically, a square is what they'd set up. It wasn't massive, maybe like 20 meters by 20 meters, and they'd just be like, run. Anytime, if you can complete the square, you're out. Just that's it. You're done with the running. Yeah. Anytime I blow the whistle, change directions. Right. So if you're at the front, you're now at the back.
Oh,
And-
I've done this.
Oh, yeah, I
before,
remember that
Bro, that would just kill me.
Yeah,
I'm done. Because suddenly I'm at the back.
Suicides,
and I'm
man.
at the
That would
front.
always get you too. Any form
Fake
of
an injury, man.
suicides?
It's pretty easy. How to make
Beast lane.
how to make contacts in the game? Clubs, coaches, players to help my career. Fuck.
LinkedIn.
You're smashing it on
is
that,
a
aren't you?
LinkedIn.
is a unused asset at this point in time. I feel like
Yeah.
LinkedIn is great. I saw Ange Postecoglou on LinkedIn today. I don't know if it's actually his
What
account.
was the
you
national
connect? But-
team that was it? Cape Verde for the AFCON.
What?
The previous one, they pretty much assembled their team through LinkedIn. The manager was just hitting up a bunch of people,
Yeah.
and he was like,
I'd see how that would
"If you
work.
want, I've got a spot
not a
for
bad
you.
strategy.
You have some
What
like
are
they'll
they
find like
searching,
your
though?
grandmother because I think that's the
Cape
FIFA rules.
Verde footballer.
And they had a phenomenal tournament. That's when they had what's his name, the 40-year-old guy. They used to play in the Prem and whatnot. But they had a phenomenal
Yeah.
tournament at the AFCON.
What the fuck?
Yeah, LinkedIn is an
Interesting.
unused asset at this point in time for many reasons.
A highlights reel,
But, yeah.
something like that as well.
We have a few more. Oh, I love this one. This is going to be a snippet. What are all your thoughts on the term Euro snob? Now, I've got my own definition, but I'm going to get the Google one because I really want to word
I'm
this
not
properly.
sure not sure what he means.
Have you not heard this?
Yeah, I don't know what that
Yeah,
means.
should I know? I feel
Yes, you should know this. Grow up.
damn. Do you not know it either?
No.
This is a Euro snob.
Like they only watch Euro.
Am I all
football.
good with
Yeah,
yeah? Yeah.
So this is off Urban Dictionary, a legit site. A person who, instead of supporting their own city's A-League team, chooses to support a team which plays 3,000 kilometres away. So then a quote would be, "Hey man, do you want to come watch Melbourne play Sydney next week?" And then his friend says, "Nah, the A-League is shit. I watch teams who play over 4,000 kilometres away and have no real connection to."
Gotcha. Alex King was fucking. He went to town on this, didn't he?
I'm going to be. Let's break down Eurosnob, right? So, obviously, you guys know what it is now. It's about people that hate on local football or Australian football and only watch European football, mostly the Prem. I know a lot of people like this that have like, nah, bro, it's shit. Why would I watch that? Look, they can't even pass the ball, blah, blah, blah. I slyly get it because you're obviously going to want to watch the best football, which is European football. Let's be real. Okay, the Prem is the best league in the world. Yes, there are mistakes in the Premier League, and some of the A-League nerds will be like, "Oh, look, this keeper, passed it to his centre-back, and then they passed it back and they scored an own goal." Yeah, mistakes happen in every league. So you can't really say, "Oh, yeah, if it happens in the A-League, look, it happens in the Prem as well." Right? But I have no problem with people watching European football and that being their main love. But support Australian football. If you want the game to grow here and you want the games to get better and the competition to get better and the crowds to get better, everyone's got to play their part. There's sometimes where I'm like, nah, CBF going to that game. No, I probably should go. Because it's like everyone plays a small part in trying to build the game together. So if you do want it to get better, it's obviously not going to help if you're just complaining about how shit the A-League is or NPL or the Socceroos are or whatever. It's not going to help. Watch your Prem and all that. That's fine. The A-League's never on at the same time as that. Like, you can watch and go to A-League games, and there will be times where the games are shit, but there will be times where the games are great.
Yeah, it's like basically people that are going, farmers markets is shit. Why are they? And they want it to be better, and then they just shop at Woolworths every day.
Pretty much.
Yeah, correct.
Pretty much.
You go to the most local soccer though, out of everyone.
I go to a lot of state league games. But then that's not really. It is helping build the game, but let's be real. We're talking about attending A-League games here and following the A-League. They're not going to be like, bro, why would I watch State 4? Nah, because your fucking cousin's playing. Of course you're going to watch State 4.
I feel like maybe this year I'll probably go to the most. Actually, no, I went to a lot of A-League games the last few years with Victory work, but like to actually go watch games, I feel like we'll probably do more than I've ever done.
Well, I was going most weeks last year.
Yeah, you went, what, Victory mainly to watch Jays?
But it's kind of like, I understand it, like you're saying, from the perspective of if you just want to watch good football, fair enough, do that. But if you want the game to improve in Australia, well, you've got to play your part, man. You can't just complain about it and make the problem worse.
But the most people that are Euro snobs, I find that football's actually not their main sport. It's usually either AFL or they're not massive football fans. That's where I find it to be. The big football fans in Australia will be watching the A-League. Yeah. I feel. Like, or the NPL. Like, they'll hate the A-League, but they love the NPL. But there's not too many that I know that are massive football fans, but only unless they're like, they moved here 10 years ago from Italy, so they watch AC Milan or whatever. Even Nor, like, when did you move here?
Like 2011, so I was already 14. So I didn't know much about what the teams are or what.
You weren't around for the inception of the A-League. Yeah.
You would have come in a good time though. You'd have been like,
funny enough, I remember that Brisbane Raw finals where there was
Central Coast.
Yeah, that one. I remember that was like my first interaction
with and stuff.
Yeah. So there's been some moments, but I think I actually want to. I think I'm done with amateur agents. I just want to make one more point off that. This is what I feel needs to happen for the A-League to be a banger next season. These are just some simple things I've noted down.
This season?
Yeah, this season, yeah. Whew.
Which starts when, by the way? It's like, what,
October, soon.
Damn.
The derbies need to be filled. The derbies need to be aggressive, and the derbies need to be hate-fueled. I'm sorry. That's what it's got to be. Not Tom Glover level, obviously, but they need to go back to being vicious affairs. I feel like for the past year or so, 2 years, let's exclude the Tom Glover incident, right? Because that was over some other shit. That was going to be a walkout over the Sydney
finals.
stuff, the Sydney final stuff. It just so happened that happened during the game. But the derbies haven't been the same lately. They haven't been packed out, right? No, that's a problem. Sydney's doing their part. They've had the best derby in the A-League for the past couple of years, let's be real, right? Auckland needs to be good.
Yeah.
They need to start a good rivalry with Wellington. It needs to have over 15,000 people there, 20,000. The hatred needs to start. I know it's a bit fabricated because they came in late, but it's got to start somewhere. Auckland needs to be a good team, and they need to have a good fan base, because it's just going to be looked at like another new teams come in with low fan bases, like your Western Uniteds, like your MacArthur's, and then your defunct teams like Gold Coast, New Zealand, North Queensland. All their major issues was they had no fans. Auckland needs to kick off, and it will, because it is a big city, man.
Yeah,
and they don't have a team.
massive. They signed a baller, man. The Japanese player,
Sakai.
Oh wow.
Yep. So
he's got a CV.
that needs to happen. There needs to be a really good balance of young stars coming through, because I'm telling you right now, I'd rather watch a 16, 17-year-old winger who's going to lose the ball a few times, but every now and then he'll nutmeg you. And every now and then he'll put on a bit of a show, and he's got some balls about him, he's got some flair, rather than a 33-year-old Australian attacker who's come back to the A-League and is quite conservative and is just here to be with their family. No, man, play the kids. But then you also need the vets to do well. A lot is going to hang on this season whether Juan Mata, Douglas Costa play good.
Yeah. That is going to be...
It's going to be a thing.
It's important that they deliver.
Can I ask, at what point does it go, if they don't deliver, right? At what point does it go, all right, A-League, we need to stop doing this whole thing of signing players that are just dinosaurs, that if they don't...
This may be the last straw, you know?
It could be.
This may be the last
Because it's happened a lot of times
It's
now.
happened a lot now.
Well, what shifted in America for them to start getting players in their peak? And this is pre-Messi. They were getting like...
Carlos Vela.
Is it money? Was it the finances?
Money and lifestyle, bro.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, that's Saudi. That's definitely finances.
Money and lifestyle for America.
Right.
Like, if you're told that you're going to be playing in front of... And let's be real, the American crowds are corny, but they pack out stadiums. Like, we believe that we will win. Yeah, okay, cool. But they're packing out stadiums. And
1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah. And if you say to a player, you're going to get to live in LA or Miami near the beach, play football, the weather's good, and you're going to be getting mad money, of course they're going to go.
That's why I think A-League, the problem is just money. Because...
And location.
We have... Yeah, we're far,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
But lifestyle is nice here, man.
Like, that's the draw card. Bro.
Yeah.
That's why they come. It's the lifestyle.
No, the lifestyle
that's why
here...
You're not going to be
That's our
flooded by
point. That's our point of
paparazzis, all that stuff.
But we got to stop, honestly, I think we've got to stop giving big contracts to Australian players that are not worth big contracts, because then you tie up the money for... We have had opportunities to get not like top tier, like your Del Piero's, like your Juan Matas, like mid-aged international players, but we've tied up our money with players that probably don't really deserve big wages like that.
Yeah.
I just think that also we need...
Sorry, with the derbies, do you mean the rival, like the fierce nature on field?
Both.
So both fan base and... Because obviously, when you were saying that, I was just thinking back to like Muskie hitting Zara.
Yep.
Like the initial Melbourne Heart, Melbourne Victory days where it was like...
Bro,
scary to watch.
I hated Melbourne Heart players.
Yeah.
Let's be
There
real.
was some big rivalry there. I feel,
Bro,
I feel
massive,
like that
wasn't
was
it?
genuine, bro.
Yeah.
I remember speaking to
that was
Fahid about it
genuine,
when
man.
he
I
was
remember
like, when he
feeling
first
that.
came, I was like, bro, Telstra Dome at the time was sold out.
Yeah.
55,000.
One of the best nights of my life is when Archie scored that last minute little dink.
Oh,
that was,
yeah.
And then he went up to the Hart fan, that fat guy.
Yeah.
That was one of the best nights of my life, bro. Like, I remember getting on the train just thinking, I can't believe I just experienced that. Like, oh my God. Like, I had many nights like that.
Went home and made him his profile picture.
No, that was Andrew Naboo. Yeah, I just think that we need to bring back that feeling. Obviously, I've grown up, so it's different, but We need to bring back that fierceness. Like, I hated Aloisi. I hated when Kuehl played for them. Boo! Fucking boo!
Do you think the inception of the Melbourne City group, or the City group that has taken over Melbourne City, do you think that's sort of taken away the rivalry of the Heart victory?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, maybe. It's a good point. I never even thought of that.
Does it not feel like it's a real rivalry anymore, and it's kind of like
an organisation
branding away from it?
As I never even thought of that.
At the start, City and Victory was like there was still that hatred, but now I don't feel like it's there. And yeah, I think it is a shame that we don't have Adelaide and Brisbane. They don't have derbies.
Well, Adelaide's is Victory.
Adelaide's is Victory.
Brisbane's Gold Coast.
Yeah,
if you can count it.
That's what I'm saying. So like they don't. There are like Perth. Like, who does Perth have? Or the distance derby? Like who the fuck cares about that? Let's be real.
Imagine that playing the 12. Get off a 12-hour flight.
Yeah, like.
Did you experience the Sydney derbies like when they were coming back when you were at Western Sydney, or were they?
I can't remember if
you
it was
played in
big
both.
crowds, but the games were mad. The games were mad. Yeah,
because the crowds feel like they're coming back
from
that now. Yeah,
because Wanderers, probably because we weren't doing well. Wanderers weren't bringing big crowds, which is fair. Right. We weren't doing very well, but like I do remember, it was still kind of cool because it is a genuine rivalry. Like a societal rivalry.
It's a societal rivalry. That's where Melbourne screwed up, because Sydney is a societal rivalry. It's East versus West. It's rich versus working class.
100.
Victory fans are from everywhere. They try to say, "Oh, Victory fans are from this side." No. Because now City are in Cranbourne and they used to be in Bundoora. It's like, nah.
Dandy versus Sunshine. That's what it should have been. No,
it should have been
Southeast versus
Victory.
West.
Should have been Southeast versus Northwest.
Yeah,
that's what it. I mean, sorry, Melbourne should have been Northwest versus Southeast.
But that's what I mean when the Heart thing went away, because I felt like Heart people.
Yeah.
Were like
the other
considered
side.
like the rejects of Victory.
Yeah,
for some reason they didn't like Victory or whatever, right?
It was the only Merrick haters.
And and it was kind of like that was kind of a genuine thing. Then like the Melbourne City thing comes in, and it's like, is it Victory?
Well,
like, is it, you know?
I remember kids who like switched over to Heart, and it was such a win for them if they won the derby. It was like, yes, I made the right decision. Fuck, right? But then if we won, it'd be like, fuck yous. You switched up, and now we're going to celebrate, and yous can cry over there with your, you know.
I think the derbies will be back. My fear is like, I just don't know the depth of City's fan base.
Yeah.
Like the volume. I think there's definitely some hardcore City fans, but like, can they fill out half the stadium of any park?
Because this is what my question is like, is there branding entrenched in any culture? No, it's like very commercial.
Yeah.
Now, right? Now. So then like, how do you jump on the bandwagon of something that's so curated?
Well,
that's such a good point.
I don't know. I wouldn't have the answer.
It's a good point. And you know, even the Sydney have been doing their thing, man. And even the whole Ninkovic saga made it sick.
Yeah,
you know,
bro. Yeah.
You know, there are moments like that, and just how Corica was and Marco Rudan.
Well, PK now, right? Could be that.
Yes. Let's hope that.
Let's hope
drives some.
Let's
passion.
hope. I don't want anyone to slide tackle him or anything, but like, let's hope.
I think they'd come off second best.
Yeah, I know he's a big boy.
PK didn't muck around, man.
He's a big boy.
I wonder if, just on this whole City Group thing, I wonder if there is this same feeling around City Group clubs in other countries.
I think there is in Man City. Like, don't people criticise and say there's no real City fans? Isn't that a criticism?
But Manchester City had actual fans. Like, I remember going to like a British school in the Middle East.
They
and
did
like,
have fans.
There was kids that wore City jerseys back when it was
like
Thomas
Simon
Cook
Hill
and whatever.
But isn't that a criticism of Manchester City? as well?
Yeah.
City
a lot of
fans?
bandwagon fans now.
Yeah, bandwagon fans. Empty
But City traditionally was supposedly the more authentic Manchester.
Yeah, because Manchester's
like Oasis, they hate
like the
United.
more working class.
Because that was always the more commercial club.
Well, United's considered more Salford, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, but I guess so. But there's like, it's definitely seen as more of an international club, whereas like proper Manc would go for the blue side.
Yeah.
But then the question is like, now the branding of a City Group club, is that a proper Manc? No.
Nah.
It's not even owned by someone from there, or. But I mean, that's a different point. That's a different point. But
But I think that the A-League needs to tap back into what was working for it in previous years.
Yeah.
Also, I want to just mention, I've got to go. I'm so fucking
I was
late.
going to pull you up on that.
Yeah,
I was like,
so late.
man.
I just want to say, though, that the ticket prices need to come down. I know they're not even that high, but $18 for an Australian Cup ticket is good. That's how it should be for the league. I don't know what the money's like. I don't fucking care. It's not my job. You figure it out. Right? It's actually not my job to care. Like, I know people can come in and say, yeah, but you don't know the finances. And we had a 5% rate. I don't give a fuck. It's your job. You're getting a big buck, sort it out. But the tickets should be lower. And the one thing that, again, I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. I was watching Bordeaux play the other day. I'll tell you something about Bordeaux. They're in the 4th tier of French football now.
No way.
Guess who plays for him?
And Andy Carroll plays for them. And it costs
Didn't know
him.
that.
It costs him to play for them.
Wow.
Wait, like Newcastle
I
United.
literally
And
read
Yes.
a post about that today.
Andy Carroll.
Did not know that.
He scored 2 headers to get them 2-2, and he earns $3,500 a month.
Goodness. He's just doing this to keep fit.
He just does it because he loves football.
Yeah.
But
He played for him.
he'd played for them in the Europa League, and now they're in the 4th division.
I was going to have, so have they just
Crazy.
been relegated straight years in a row?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't long ago they
It
were
was.
in.
It was.
They had, remember Gorkuf?
Yep.
Fuck,
It
man,
was
he a sexy player.
Heads are done. It was.
Damn.
It was. Yeah. It was like a
Just endless.
points deduction thingy, whatever. But they still had thousands of fans there. The A-League is purely based on results. That's the problem. And I think that's an Australian thing.
So people only care about the club if they're doing well.
Victory will be
That's
packed
fact.
out if they're finals contenders and bound
yeah.
and all that. When they weren't, man, it dropped off.
It'll be interesting to see the Sunday when we're there.
Well,
Sort of though, bro. I was at the semi last year and it was freaking empty.
Okay.
And it was a derby, by the way.
yeah, truth.
yeah, but
So-
did they still have restrictions and stuff?
yeah, I think
What? What do you mean restrictions?
no, because of the Tom Glover stuff.
It was
No,
like-
bro.
Something
No,
was
it was
in
empty.
place.
It was empty, bro.
Well, but I reckon it because of that.
What? Because no.
Because I was at the semis last week.
Nah, but it's in like that crippled
Oh, yeah,
the
that
next
one was.
level of the season.
I don't think so.
There was definitely a period of ban, and then there was like it didn't receive the same love when they maybe reopened the gates. I feel.
Perhaps.
You've got a chance to resurrect it this year, man. Let's do it.
Fingers
This
crossed,
Sunday,
bro.
are we out before the game? No.
Probably whilst it's on, huh?
Yeah, no, probably just before.
Yeah.
But we will be at the Australia Cup final. Come say what's up. It's going to be a good game, man.
Should we give out little predictions? Does anyone have a prediction? Do you have
Yeah, I'll go. Let's go 2-1 victory.
2-0 victory.
I'm gonna go
Come on, you Ram.
1-0 MacArthur Rams.
The Rams.
I think
And he
MacArthur.
cannot lose that.
I think
that
MacArthur.
prediction.
I think MacArthur
Yep.
could. Yeah.
Don't lose.
The club doesn't exist.
Yeah, the club doesn't exist. All right,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks to your editing.
I'm so late to something I've got to be at, but Suited and Booted, 5 stars on Spotify. Please like, comment, subscribe. We need to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram. We're nearly there. Help us.
Everything is possible.
Everything is possible.
Everything is possible. Bravo.
Oh my God, bro. I need
That's
to go
it.
to the
We're
toilet
done?
so bad, bro.